I beg to move that this House do now adjourn.
The question is that this House do now adjourn. Alan Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. This debate is about the persecution of the Hazara community in Quetta City, in the Pakistan province of Balochistan. Its aim is to draw attention to their plight, and the ultimate objective is to put pressure on the Pakistan authorities to do more to capture those responsible. I sought this debate with my honourable friend, the member for Southampton Test, who can't be here this evening because of an engagement in his constituency, and the honourable member for Milton Keynes South, who, with your permission, Mr. Deputy Speaker, will make a contribution to this debate. I know there are others who have members of the Hazara community in their constituency who wish to intervene, and with your permission, Mr. Deputy Speaker, I'm perfectly happy for that to happen. Like many other honourable and right honourable members, we have constituents who are part of the Hazara community in the UK. The constituent who drew this to my attention, Mohammed Yunus, is a typical Hazara, passionate about education, law-abiding and committed to public service. He works for a social enterprise, teaching and assisting those who need his help and making an important contribution to community relations in Hull. We're extremely grateful to the Minister for agreeing to meet us last December to discuss this issue and for being here for this debate today. And I think as we discussed this, there was a consensus that this issue needed to be aired on the floor of the House of Commons, which is why I'm so pleased that this debate was granted today. There are around 600,000 Hazaras living in Quetta City. Many fled there from Afghanistan, where they were a specific target for the Taliban. Hazaras in Quetta are being killed practically on a daily basis. It's been estimated that around 600 have been killed so far, yet not a single perpetrator has been captured and brought to justice. Over.
Given way and congratulate him on securing the debate. The point he makes is so powerful it deserves underlining. And does he share my concern that whilst that statistic remains, over 600 deaths and not a single conviction, it's very hard to take the Pakistan government claim to tackling this matter seriously?
I think the honourable member is right about this. I have huge respect for the country. I went to Pakistan when I was a minister. I've got huge respect for the High Commissioner. But I do believe that the key point about the Hazara community is precisely that. There is no sign of any of the perpetrators being brought to justice. It's not just a case of them being held but the prosecuting authorities not succeeding. And that is one of the major issues in this debate, and the honourable member was right to draw attention to it. Indeed, the response of the authorities in Balochistan has been to restrict the movement of the Hazaras themselves, to forbid them from entering certain districts, to apply travel restrictions, and to treat these murders with a mixture of complacency and complicity. Last September-October, almost 50 Hazaras were taken from buses and wagons in separate incidents, lined up and killed. The Chief Minister of Balochistan responded with levity, saying in a television interview that he would send a truckload of tissue paper to the bereaved families. That is the kind of atmosphere that the Hazaras are living in. The authorities know that the Hazaras are a target for terrorist groups. They know, for instance, that Al-Qaeda, that an Al-Qaeda affiliate is seeking to make Pakistan, in their term, Hazara's graveyard. They state, and I quote, "Their mission is to eliminate this impure sect and people from every city, every village and every corner of Pakistan." I give way.
I'm most grateful to the Right Honourable Gentleman in giving way. Mr Deputy Speaker, by way of a declaration, I worked with Benazir Bhutto from 1999 to 2007 on this very point about the Hazara community being affected. Does the Right Honourable Gentleman agree with me that it is not only the Hazara community, but it's the Christian community, the Muslim community, the Sikh community, the Hindu community, which is now suffering as a result of Pakistan having been a frontline state in the war against Russia and then against Al-Qaeda after 9/11, and that as a result of that, radicalisation and sectarian violence has spread from Afghanistan to Pakistan, which led to the murder of Benazir Bhutto and Shahbaz Bhatti, the Christian minister. So everyone is suffering, not simply the Hazara community, which of course I understand is concerned, but everyone has suffered as a result of that sectarian ethnic violence spreading from Afghanistan to Pakistan.
I do accept that point. Indeed, it's a point made to me by the High Commissioner for Pakistan when he contacted me today about this debate. But I think the point that the Honourable Member raised, and I'll come on to say some things about the difficulties that Pakistan is facing, but it mustn't detract from the fact that these killings are taking place on a daily basis. The authorities seem remarkably complacent about it, and not a single perpetrator has been brought to justice. And whilst the movement of Hazaras is restricted, their pursuers walk freely in the city, despite the heavy presence of the police, the army and the Frontier Corps, who all have checkpoints in and around Quetta. The reason for this persecution is not just because of the Hazaras' religion, they're predominantly Shia Muslims, but also because of their genetic link to the Mongol people, which allows them to be recognised by their physical appearance, and because Hazaras have pursued higher education, enrolled in the army, occupied senior positions in government, the civil service and civic society more generally. They are the kind of law-abiding citizen who will play an important role in a free democratic Afghanistan and a peaceful and prosperous Pakistan. Thus, they are the enemies of a whole range of terrorist groups. The persecution, indeed some would say genocide, carried out against the Hazaras has been well documented by the UN, by the Human Rights Commission of Pakistan, and by organisations such as the New York-based monitoring body Human Rights Watch. But I don't believe there is sufficient awareness nationally or internationally about what the Hazaras are going through, despite the best efforts of the Hazara community and organisations such as the Hazara Organisation for Progress and Equality, HOPE, which seeks to raise these issues in parliaments around the world. And the attacks, Mr Deputy Speaker, are intensifying. Hazaras are murdered when they stay in Quetta and killed when they try to leave. 55 young Hazaras were drowned in the waters of Indonesia on December the 20th, trying to escape their perilous existence. The Hazaras believe that the religious militant groups that are carrying out these killings are state-sponsored. There is evidence for this assertion. The Asian Human Rights Commission reported on January the 6th that the Pakistan Army has created a militant organisation to kill intellectuals, activists and Hazaras in Balochistan. I've seen a copy of an official letter from the government of Balochistan informing the military authorities and the police in Quetta about the presence of a man called Sabir Maqsood, whose stated aim was to murder Hazaras, but no action was taken to apprehend him. Thus, more than 80 Hazaras were killed in Quetta by this man and his fellow operatives last year. The international community cannot allow this persecution to continue. There are significant Hazara populations in countries around the world, in particular in Australia. These countries should coordinate and intensify their efforts. I know the Minister is fully engaged in trying to pressurise the Pakistan authorities to protect the Hazara community in Quetta, and I know the Foreign Secretary is equally committed. Pakistan is an old and valued and trusted ally of the United Kingdom, seeking to renew its democratic credentials after years of military rule. It is a country beset by many problems, and its citizens have suffered, as the Honourable Member pointed out, at the hands of terrorists more than any other country in the world. But the Pakistan government must do more to root out state-supported terrorism wherever it exists. It undoubtedly exists in Quetta City, and the Hazaras are its principal victims. It's a good place to begin the process.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I'm very grateful for the opportunity opportunity to make a short contribution to this debate, and I certainly congratulate the Right Honourable Gentleman from Kingston upon Hull West and Hessel in securing it today. I'm very happy to endorse all the points that he has made, and in interest of brevity I won't seek to repeat them. The interest that I have in this issue, and also my friend, honourable friend from Milton Keynes North, stems from the fact that we have a very large Hazara population in Milton Keynes. And the headquarter of the Hazara Community of Great Britain Charity is located in Bletchley, in my constituency. They are a close-knit, progressive community, and they certainly make a very valuable contribution to the local economy and wider civic life of Milton Keynes. Certainly, I'm very happy to give way.
Congratulate the member for Kingston upon Hull for calling this debate. Like him, I have a Hazara community in Walthamstow in north east London, and I just wonder whether the honourable gentleman would agree with me that there's a very important role that we can play in supporting the Hazara community in Britain to come forward and raise concerns, and to also engage with the Foreign Office in helping move forward to get progress in Pakistan in dealing with some of the issues that we're all talking about tonight.
I'm very happy to endorse that point, and I know that my honourable friend from Milton Keynes North has already met a delegation from the community and met with the Minister. And the Honourable Lady alludes to, they are deeply concerned about the plight of their family, relatives and the broader community in Pakistan amid what are daily reports of killings and persecution. As the Right Honourable Gentleman said, there are concerns that these attacks are not being dealt with appropriately by the authorities in Pakistan, and I join him in imploring the Minister to do all that he can to influence this situation. Just a few weeks ago, we all commemorated World Holocaust Day. The campaign this year was Speak Up, Speak Out, to challenge persecution and hatred wherever in the world it exists. This we must do for the Hazara people, and I look forward to hearing what steps the government are taking to address this situation. I was about to finish, but I'll certainly make through.
In giving way. But linked to the Hazara community, the other community which has suffered a lot as a result of radicalisation is the Christian community in Pakistan, and also we must do everything we can to ensure that they get their full rights as well. And also, will you join me in paying tribute to Bishop Michael Nazir Ali, the former Bishop of Rochester, who is from Pakistan and has done a lot on community cohesion and dialogue between all faiths.
I'm certainly very happy to do that. I was literally at the end of my comment, so on that note I shall conclude.
Thank you very much, Mr Deputy Speaker. I'd like to begin by thanking the Right Honourable Member for Kingston upon Hull West and Hessel for securing the debate this afternoon, and for his usual courtesy in forwarding me a copy of his remarks a little earlier on this afternoon. I'd like to thank all the other colleagues who've taken part and expressed their concerns. The Honourable Lady, the Member for Walthamstow, my Honourable friends, the Member for Milton Keynes North and South, my Honourable friend, the Member for Gillingham and Rainham. I think we all share both a passion for Pakistan and supporting human rights across a very difficult and complex region. I've met and corresponded with a number of colleagues in the House over a number of human rights issues in Pakistan, and I welcome the opportunity to discuss this in a more public forum. Last December, I did indeed speak with the Right Honourable Gentleman and his Hazara constituent, during which I was told about day-to-day living conditions of the Hazara community in Quetta. I previously met the constituents of my Honourable friend, the Member for Milton Keynes North, who raised similar concerns. I expressed at that time my serious concerns about the discrimination of minorities in Pakistan, and I joined the Right Honourable Member in condemning September's appalling attacks in Balochistan that left so many innocent people dead. Before I turn in more detail to the Hazara community, may I take the opportunity to set in context some of the issues, which was indeed the point raised by my honourable friend, the Member for Gillingham and Rainham. Sadly, sectarian violence is not isolated to Balochistan. Tragically, across the country, the Pakistani people have suffered from the scourge of sectarian violence. Sunni and Shia alike have endured terrible violence, as have other minority communities. I join Pakistan's Prime Minister Gilani in condemning this week's disgraceful attacks in Khorasan, which killed at least 18 Shia Muslims. It's vital that the perpetrators of all sectarian violence, including from this week's vicious attack, are brought to justice. The United Kingdom and Pakistan have a long history and strong relationship founded on mutual respect, mutual trust and mutual benefit. Our respect for Pakistan's sovereignty and territorial integrity is absolute. So we must be clear that the security of Balochistan, as with all provinces of Pakistan, is a matter for the people and government of Pakistan. The improvement to regional security which the international community is committed requires all countries to respect the sovereignty and territorial integrity of their neighbours. Though sectarian violence across Pakistan is a growing concern, it is important to note the progress being made in a range of human rights areas, including removing reservations to human rights treaties. It's vital that Pakistan now works to ensure that it effectively implements the international human rights treaties to which it is a signatory. None of the communities of which we've spoken in the debate this afternoon will truly be secure unless these advances are made. At the dawn of Pakistan's independence, in his presidential address to the First Constituent Assembly, Muhammad Ali Jinnah outlined his belief that in Pakistan there should be, and I quote, no discrimination between one caste or creed and another, end quotes. He said, for Pakistan is founded with the fundamental principle, he said, that we are all citizens and equal citizens of one state. I've met many Pakistanis working tirelessly to realise this vision today. None more courageous than Minister Shahbaz Bhatti, whose work towards peaceful, moderate change was met with such brutal violence. Since his assassination, I've twice met his brother, Dr. Paul Bhatti, and underlined the United Kingdom's government for support for human rights in Pakistan. Human rights are intertwined with a wide range of issues, including education, stability and development. The United Kingdom's engagement with Pakistan is therefore broad and strategic, covering education, economic stability, security and cultural cooperation. Pakistan Foreign Minister Khan had a successful visit to the UK last week, during which I discussed security and economic development with her and raised my concerns over the rights of religious minorities, including the Hazara community. We work with international partners and the Pakistani government to tackle the shared challenge of extremism and to increase Pakistani stability and prosperity. It bears reminding all in the House, Mr. Deputy Speaker, that Pakistan is on the front line of terrorism, making bigger sacrifices in fighting terrorism than any other country. In the 10 years since 9/11, more than 30,000 Pakistanis have been killed. The people of Pakistan will always have our sympathy, our understanding and our robust support in addressing terror. Pakistani Foreign Minister Hina Rabini Khan's visit to the United Kingdom last week reflects the depth of our partnership and friendship. My right honourable friend, the Foreign Secretary, held wide-ranging discussions with her within the framework of our enhanced strategic dialogue that strengthens practical cooperation between our two countries. They discussed the progress being made to grow a deeper and broader dialogue between the United Kingdom and Pakistan, including on human rights, which will strengthen our friendship and promote mutual prosperity and security. The many links we have between the United Kingdom and Pakistan means that we can engage honestly and directly with each other on many subjects: counter-terrorism, security policy, immigration, trade, development, education, the rule of law. And a theme that underlines all of this, the focus of our attention this afternoon, is human rights. As laid down in the Constitution of Pakistan, all Pakistani citizens should be able to live their lives without fear of discrimination or persecution, regardless of their religious beliefs or their ethnic group. I can assure the Right Honourable Gentleman that we regularly reinforce the importance of upholding these fundamental rights to our colleagues in the Government of Pakistan at all levels, and our strategic dialogue enables ministers such as myself and my Right Honourable friend to be able to do that on behalf of all minority communities in Pakistan. The Government of Pakistan has taken positive actions. It has reserved quotas in the public sector and Parliament for minorities. It has set up complaints procedures for those encountering discrimination. It has removed reservations to international human rights treaties. We will continue to support those who wish to see reform in Pakistan and raise human rights with the Pakistani government. As I indicated, I personally raised my concerns over human rights issues with the Foreign Minister last week. In 2011, I twice held constructive discussions with Pakistani Prime Minister's advisor on interfaith harmony and minority affairs, Dr. Paul Bharti. Tomorrow, as some will know, marks the anniversary of the first anniversary of the assassination of his brother, and serves as a poignant reminder of the need to tackle terrorism to support Pakistani progress on human rights and the losses that they have suffered. There is a process in place to try and ensure that interfaith committees do meet in the various provinces. It's a process I've seen in action, and we are keen to continue to support. The plight of the Hazara community is connected to the wider regional dynamic. Hazara people fleeing repression in 19th century Afghanistan formed the beginnings of Pakistan's Hazara. More refugees from Afghanistan followed throughout the 20th century, and Pakistan's Hazara Quetta's population is now estimated to be made up of 1/3 Hazara, and it totals some 600,000. The presence of the Afghan Taliban in Quetta has amplified repression of Pakistani Shia, including Hazara, in the region. We welcome progress made by the Hazaras of Afghanistan since the fall of the Taliban in 2001. This progress has seen high-profile Hazaras occupy key positions in the Afghan government. In Kabul, UK officials engage with a range of Hazara interlocutors and continue to promote an inclusive political process. The Hazara community in Iran has also complained of mistreatment. We will continue to appeal to Iran to respect human rights, including through the UN and the EU. This gives a sense of how the Hazara community is treated throughout the region as a whole. The specific issues of Hazara rights and sectarian violence in Balochistan were raised with the Balochi authorities and parliamentarians by British officials last October. Local discussion of these issues has continued since, with our officials engaging with Balochi members of the National Assembly, amongst others. The plight of Pakistan's Hazara community, highlighted in the afternoon's debate, will be recognised in the 2011 FCO Human Rights Report, which is due to be published this month. Media reports have claimed that nearly 700 Hazaras have been killed in Pakistan since 2004. In 2011, the Hazara in Balochistan suffered a number of major attacks, including on the 19th of September, when gunmen killed 26 Hazara pilgrims returning from Iran. Lashkar-e-Jhangvi claimed responsibility for this attack and has waged a sustained campaign of violence against the community. On the 4th of October, attackers killed 13 passengers, mostly Hazara, travelling on a bus in Quetta. A major attack during the Shia processions marking Ashura was anticipated, but did not occur. Nawab Bassam Rassami, Chief Minister of Balochistan, formulated a committee on September the 22nd to probe the killing of 29 pilgrims in Mastung. I remain concerned about the low-key response of Pakistan's authorities to September and October's violent attacks. It is vital that those responsible are brought to justice. In the long term, we would like to see improvements in Pakistani citizens' access to justice across the whole country. The House may be assured that we will continue to press in these issues, both in relation to that community and to others. Enhancing the rule of law in Pakistan is vital to improving the plight of the Hazara community. There's a range of government work developing that's helping to improve the rule of law in Pakistan. For instance, we're developing a programme with Pakistan to enhance its ability to prosecute violent extremists, including working to enhance investigations, prosecutions, detentions and legislation. Our DFID transformational work to address poverty in education will help enhance Pakistan's commitment to rule of law. The United Kingdom is working with our European Union partners and the government of Pakistan to look at ways of supporting reform and capacity building of Pakistan's rule of law. My honourable friend, the member for Gillingham and Raynham, raised particularly the issue of the Christian community. And I think that does also give me the opportunity to say how we try and deal with human rights more generally across the region. Our experience is that picking out one community rather than another is not always the most helpful way to address the issue. As I explained, Because the human rights issue is important right across the board, and many minorities, as colleagues in the House this afternoon have brought up, are subject to these problems. Ensuring that the rule of law runs across all communities, ensuring that the government is devoted to improving access to the rule of law and the rights of minorities across the board, ensures that no minority can be picked out against another, and ensures that those who would like to claim that favourable treatment is offered by those outside is not the case. All are made more secure by attention to rule of rights, and all are weakened, including any minority community, by a government's failure to address rule of law and human rights. That is why our policy is so determinedly addressed to the rights of communities right across the board, whether it's those under pressure in Pakistan, whether it's Christian communities across the Middle East, or whether it's the plight of the individual community, such as the Hazaras in Balochistan, as colleagues have raised. Of course,
I'm grateful to the Minister for giving way, and I'm pleased to hear that the plight of the Hazaras will be in the FCO Human Rights Watch document, I believe, for the first time. I understand what he is saying about the persecution of other religions, but does he accept that, firstly, if we don't raise specific groups, if no one raises the persecution of a specific group, then we will never discuss any target for the terrorists? Secondly, does he agree that it's very difficult to find another religion, group, ethnic group in Pakistan that has quite the same level of apparent compliance in their murder, with absolutely no one caught, none of the perpetrators actually brought to justice? If there are other groups, and this is not some contest to see who's been treated worse, but if there are other groups, I'll be very surprised. I think there is a specific issue here about the Hazaras that does need to be addressed.
I acknowledge the second point the Right Honourable Gentleman raises. I mean, it's a terrifying statistic that he raises about the absence of justice. And as I indicated, we remain very concerned about the response of the Pakistani authorities to those, and we will indeed press in relation to the very statistics that he raises. And in answer to his first point, absolutely. I think it's bound to be the case that colleagues here will raise individual communities. I think the point of our approach is then to set those in context so that we are indeed not pitting one community against another by indicating one community is treated worse than another, by recognising that the absence of rule of law and human rights can affect so many. So I think we are both doing it, I hope, in exactly the right way. The Right Honourable Gentleman and the colleagues are absolutely right to raise specific communities and different ones as we have done today. We believe we are right in setting it in the context and demanding justice for all, because unless there is justice for all, justice is denied for those who are outside that embrace. In conclusion, Mr Deputy Speaker, the United Kingdom will continue to work with the leaders of Pakistan and its people who deserve to experience a stable and prosperous future, people who deserve to enjoy vibrant democratic debate without fear of intimidation, people who deserve to live in a country where freedom of religion is not undermined by sectarian violence. We have a distinctive role to play in supporting that sort of Pakistan, and I'm grateful for the work of so many members of the House as we continue to work with Pakistan towards this vision.
The question is that this House do now adjourn. As many as are of that opinion say aye.
Aye.
The contrary, no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Order, order.